Well, first of all, the food was already there in the form of the Wounded Knee trading posts. See, it was about a three-part operation. They had a U.S. post office there. They had a trading post, which was basically a small market, supermarket. And then there was a museum there. So it was all interconnected. In other words, people could sell their beaded moccasins there for maybe $15, $20. The next day you'd see them on sale in the museum for $100, $120. People could charge their groceries at the local store, but then when their lease check for their lands that they owned or other monies that they had coming in, income, Social Security and other things, when the check came, since the storekeeper had the post office, he would take the check and cash it and give the people their change. So it was almost like a system of servitude where the people were at the whim and at the, in some ways, economically controlled by the local trading post. And of course they were, I can't say they were evil people because they had many friends. And these are, like many rural communities, people survive together, they respect each other. And so there was a family called the Gildersleeve family that was the owners of the Wounded Knee trading post. They had many friends in the Indian community. And so, matter of fact, there was this frenzy right away that there was a white family that was being held hostage. And this kind of escalated the security alert in terms of law enforcement because there was an appearance that there were white hostages involved because they owned the trading posts. Well, about the second day, for example, we were able to get the Gildersleeve family to join us in a press conference inside Wounded Knee, where they said that they weren't being held hostage. We even had both senators during the first, I think, 3 or 4 days at the time. Our senators were George McGovern and James Aberesk. They flew into Wounded Knee to see the so-called hostages. And by the time they had gotten there to Wounded Knee, we already had a press conference where they declared they weren't hostages. So the senators went in there and they talked to them and they came out, assured the public, and assured us that we'd get meetings at a high level of government to discuss our issues of housing and education and racism, BIA police, and the issue of the treaties. And so this began to turn in the favor of us who were inside Wounded Knee because we were able to change public opinion about what we were there for. And because there was so much, I guess you might say that was kind of the beginning of the information age. There was so much international television and radio going on that they couldn't keep us quiet. They couldn't push us out of the way and say, we'll take them all to jail.